Put your white hat at the door, cowpoke. We're going down a dark and dusty trail. Hey, it's Game Rant, and here it is, Red Dead Redemption 2, 10 reasons to go for a low honor run, so giddy up, cowboy. Number 10. Train robberies. The original Uber of the Wild West, trains provide consistent connections between communities. What once took days of travel could be reached within mere hours. This transformed society as we know it, uniting all sorts of classes. And that means you've got box after box of waiting marks just sitting on all that hard-earned cash. Sure, you're bound to gain the attention of local law enforcement, including potential protectors on the train itself, but you can just shoot them in cold blood. You're the bad guy, remember? And there's no two ways about it. Throughout Red Dead Redemption 2, you'll be given multiple solutions to solve a problem. But robbing a train full of innocent people? Yeah, that's always going to be bad. Number 9. Looting bonuses. Sure, as a no-good outlaw, you need little reason to aim your trusty six-shooter towards the direction of anyone minding their own business. But keep up your wayward direction, and you'll get a few slight bonuses, such as being able to find additional money and resources on the cold bodies you just happen to be near. Wink, wink. And even storefronts keep up the deal, offering 10% discounts to especially evil customers. How do they know you're evil? Well, they've probably seen the disheveled state of the jewels and cash you're trading in and decided to stay on your good side. Probably a good call. Number 8. Character interactions. If you've only been playing as a good and proper cowboy, you've probably been impressed with Arthur's ability to spin a charming phrase. In fact, you could say he's known for his manners, but he also knows how to be a cold-blooded snake, and a funny one at that. Throughout your many robberies, the victims will plead for mercy, only for the gang, and usually Arthur, to shatter the notion of any empathy. Heck, he can seem downright natural while he's torturing civilians. It's a disturbing reveal that leaves players to wonder which half of Arthur Morgan is the true half, and which half is the performance. Number 7. Player freedom. Look, we're not going to tell you how to play Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, we made this whole list and everything, but you do you. But we can say rather bluntly, playing as a good guy is just plain boring. Being on the mostly right side of the law means entering towns to barter and make nice with the locals. Being on the wrong side of the law means doing all of that, but underneath there's a bristling tension. Maybe nobody knows it's about to go down, but you sure do. Call the ensuing chaos whatever you want. It's sure not boring. Number 6. Different dialogue. As we've pointed out, Arthur sure has a way with words, but given on how he develops based on your choices, you can have him recognize the significance of events and attempt to communicate on his behalf, or he can give up on diplomacy and shove a pistol into someone's face. Now, the sane and rational person would want to do the former, but this is a video game. Do the latter. The story is full of terrible characters with terrible motivations. Having Arthur speak to their better nature is downright frustrating, especially knowing how gifted of a combatant he is. Better to cut bait, pull back the hammer, and see what happens next. Arthur can shoot his way out of this one, but can they? Number 5. Environmental reactions. Again, if you've been trying to be honorable, you've likely missed a tremendous amount of environmental dialogue. If you're a good cowboy, people will speak to you generally as a video game NPC would, welcoming you to the store, commenting on the heat, giving you a better feel for the greater world story. But when you're low honor, you are the story. Step into town and you leave many stiff necks tongue-tied, and perk the interest of local bounty hunters. Rockstar Games have always been good about making players feel like a cog in the greater world, but with the way your legend builds in Red Dead Redemption 2, you really do begin to feel like the main character. Number 4. Story themes. This one is far from the most deep, but again, unless you've gone out of your way to see it, you may not have realized it was optional. Such is the case of the coyote and the deer, two symbols of nature that serve entirely different purposes. The deer may graze and make the land richer, while the coyote is a predator and will always look to rip and destroy for its survival, as seen in the images of the coyote consuming the dead bear. The deer is certainly a magnificent animal, but when we're talking about a compelling narrative, the coyote is far more haunting. Number 3. Different story choices. As we pointed out, throughout the game, players will be presented with different choices to solve a problem, and subtlety is absolutely not in the game's design. Either you will intimidate or acquiesce to end a conflict, or you could always just kill somebody. Like we said, it's not exactly subtle, but the cut-and-dry nature leaves it to two options. One which is certainly well written and performed, and the other, the evil choice, that's actually fun to do. Red Dead Redemption 2 can certainly have its slower moments as they journey through the American Southwest, so take the entertainment when you can, and do something incredibly messed up. Number 2. The Last Ride. We're not into spoiler territory just yet, but we can say that one of the final missions in Red Dead Redemption 2 will give you plenty of time to look back on your journey as you ride towards catastrophe. But the way it does so is rather different depending on your behavior, with the honorable recalling all the people they helped along the way, and perhaps in some small effort have made good for a life of lawlessness. Yeah, the other ride is mostly just reflecting on what an evil monster you've been. It's not exactly the tone one would expect to hype up a major mission, and shows just how different Red Dead Redemption 2 is to most other AAA games. Number 1. Low honor ending. Alright, Rough Riders, we've got to get to spoiler territory, so ride off into the sunset and return when you've played this gem. But the ending to Arthur's story is certainly tragic either way, dying while attempting to help John Marston escape to a better life. However, the tone of that death is wildly different given your choices. And with the low honor run, all Arthur can do is feel sorry for himself, face down in the mud, blaming Dutch for all the terrible things he had to do, say goodnight to the bad guy, and really, good riddance. If your Arthur was a jerk, then this is a happy ending for everybody else. But now we want to hear from you. Which honor do you think makes the most sense for Arthur Morgan's character? At the end of the day, he's a pretty well-developed character in either direction, so which one do you say is more authentic? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll be sure to read your answers. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this list, but keep clicking around here on Game Rant, and we'll see you next time.